specification. So let's start with a simple overview of what are they. So a job description, as the name says there, it's a describer of roughly what the job is, where the job is, how the job's to be carried out, who they're responsible for, etc. There we go, it adds a lot more there, salary range, etc. Really think about your 6 W's there: who, what, when, where, how, why. What job they're going to do, when they're going to do it, why they're doing there, where that job has to take place, etc. Person specification. So that's the attributes, skills, qualification, experience, knowledge, etc. It's about how you measure the person that you want to do the job. It says there then that these person specifications should be derived from the job description. So it's when doing this, it's advisable to do the job description first, and then what person do you want to fill that role. So basically then, a job description is the detailed description of the role, including all responsibilities, objectives, and requirements. Whereas the person specification is a profile of your ideal new employee. Okay, I've got a bit pictorial here, so they're the pictures I'm going to use. So if you see the blue square, that's the job description. The green head is the person specification. So these are the key theories I'm looking at: how you use a job description, person specification in these kind of 5 key areas: hiring, development, motivation, appraisals, and firing. So first of all, let's have a look at hiring. So hiring is simple. We have to look at what job it is and who do we need to do it. And it's about finding the right fit. So would this person be able to do this job? So we interview, find out who they are, what skills they are, and then hopefully we find the right person. They match both the job description and the person's specification. So now we move on to development. How can you use a job description and person specification when we're looking at development? And this one's quite an easy one. So when looking at development, we're basically looking at growing all 3. So all 3 grow equally there. The job grows, the person grows, and therefore the person's specification. So over time, their experiences will get better. So the job they will be doing will be more intricate. Over time, their qualifications may grow. So once again, the job they will do may have more responsibility to it. They may have staff to look after now, etc. So when you're looking at developing staff, it has to be in line with their job description and person specification. One shouldn't grow above the others. So now let's move on to motivation then, how to use the job description, person specification. Development was about growing the role. Motivation is hopefully, so there we can see that they went in the wrong direction. So hopefully the job description, what the job is and what the person you want to fill it, go in the right direction. And hopefully that's how we create motivation, by changing the job to fit the person. If now suddenly you're working for a company, you have been for 5 years, getting a bit demotivated because you've been there for a while. So hopefully we can change the role into something more akin to what you want to do. Do you want to do more managerial things, more administrative stuff? Do you want to use different skill sets, etc.? So hopefully we change the job as we change the person. When looking at motivation as well, there are some other videos such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Herzberg's 2-factor theorem, and McGregor's theory X, theory Y. Have a look on the other videos to have a look at those as well. These are other factors you might need to know about motivation. Next, we're going on to appraisals. Some of you may have had appraisals at work. And appraisals, once again, we can see there the job has grown and therefore the person specification has grown. And it's about hopefully the person has grown as well. Okay, so think about appraisals almost as a yearly, well, if they happen yearly, appraisals are just making sure you're still capable to do the job. It's like the interview process at the beginning when we're looking at hiring. So before we were looking at all the different candidates and then we looked at which one's best suited for that job, that person's specification of that job. Now we're still looking at you, but are you still suited for your role? And that's what an appraisal is. And then finally, we go on to firing. So we can see here that the job and the person specification has grown, but the person hasn't. and that's when we look to fire. Once again, this is the key when firing candidates, to make it impersonal, so you don't get any problems with tribunals, etc. You should always fire based on the job description and the person specification. If the person cannot do the job description, then that's when you get rid of them. Many companies just try and get rid of people because they don't fit, in inverted commas. You've got to always refer back to these documents. So that's the key. The person specification is who should we hire to do the job. The job description is a detailed list of exactly what the job is, and this is the crux to it, what a lot of people forget. Documents are not just used in the hiring process, but they should be used throughout the history of the employee. So the job description should continuously change, develop and evolve, just as you would hope that the employee changes, develops and evolves.